Hi, everybody. This is Jean Ketcham, and I have with me today one of my wonderful friends and one of our original Aging but Dangerous members, Faye Watson. Hi, Faye.
Hi, Jean.
And we've got our coffee cups. Own your power.
Yes, we
And
do.
Aging but Dangerous. Now, you guys can buy those online at our store, and we're just having really a lot of fun with this. Now, the subject we're going to talk about today that I've convinced Faye into speaking about is on counseling. And Faye, you are going to a counselor.
Correct. Yes.
And what made you decide to do that? What were some of the reasons?
Well, I am quite newly married and I'm 77 years old. And after being single for a good 25 years, and my husband was also single for 25 years, we got married. I have moved into his home, and it's a huge adjustment. And so I decided I wanted to talk to somebody about communication. How do I communicate my wishes and not get defensive, and how he can communicate with me?
Right. And that is so important. After 57 years of marriage, I think, that is top of the list for me is communication. And I really had to pull it out of it's just something that you really need to do. But also, as you said, there's just growing older and then all kinds of areas that you really wanted to talk to somebody about. And then how did you find this person?
Well, first of all, I checked with my primary doctor, and she referred me to a counselor, but she was like in her 30s. I could not continue seeing her. It's like talking to one of my grandchildren.
Yeah.
So then I talked to my OBGYN, just happened to mention to her that I was looking for a therapist. She referred me to a woman, and so I called the office. That was with Park Nicollet, and the woman she had referred me to had retired. So I explained to the girl on the phone, I'm 77 years old. I'm looking for a therapist, but I want somebody mature. I don't want a young woman. And she said, I have the perfect person for you. So I set an appointment, and I have probably gone about 5 times now. And it's helping a lot, because I think at our age we feel we should know everything.
Right.
And I think it's kind of maybe embarrassing to go to a therapist at this age. And so you have to just kind of set that aside and do it. And once you do it, it's not embarrassing anymore.
Well, I don't think it's maybe embarrassing as much as it is the financial part. I think, is very exciting, and I want you to share it with people. Is what you found out about your insurance?
Yes, my insurer is UCare. That's my supplemental insurance. And I did call them to ask about counseling. It's costing me $20 an hour, and there is absolutely no limit on how many times I can go. So, which is very encouraging.
Wow, that is so phenomenal. But what you said that just really intrigued me was that at this age, and I'm 79, so I'm a couple years older, but at this age we do feel like we should know everything, and not we just don't. I mean, there's still so many things to learn and so much to do and to find out, and because we're going to live a long time, Faye.
A very long time.
You and I, well, just like a 100-year mark.
That's
But
right.
yeah, so I mean, what else have you learned about yourself? Can you share anything? I know it's pretty private, but is there anything else you can share?
Well, what can I share? As far as, yeah, living in someone's home, I've learned that I can be quite stubborn, quite set in my ways, as he can be, because we're
Right,
both so used to doing it our own way. So that's been a work in progress.
right,
We work on it daily.
right. And I have to tell everybody out there, I do know him, and he cooks dinner for you every night.
Yes,
I mean, my gosh, how many of us would like that? I mean, he really is good to you.
yes, he is. He's very good to me. Yes.
It's just that you've had your life kind of turned upside down because of a different way of living. I know you live pretty far out in the country. Do I say country? Far out in
UK
the,
country, yes.
and I know
The
that's,
country.
yeah, and I know that's kind of hard for you, but it's just that your life has changed so much. And I think that's the big part, is dealing with all of that. Is we have to deal with a lot of things as we get older, but dealing with that and a new marriage. I mean, my gosh, with my marriage, it's been, Mike and I get along so well, and it's so good. But I'm telling you, as you get older, I don't think you have as much patience with each other. You have to kind of struggle with kind of like, okay, I'll forget that and not, move on. I mean, it really is different. I maybe it's just because I've been married a long time, but I do think as we get older, we get a little bit more impatient. Do you think that?
Oh, I think so, yes. We want to do it our way.
Yeah, you and I both are kind of stubborn.
Right, yes. And the one thing that's really good, I think, about aging is if you continue trying new things, growing. A lot of people feel that this is it. I don't feel that this is it. And I am very lucky that he's very encouraging with that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he understands that, I want to be out there and I want to be learning and trying new things. And even though he has no desire to do that, he's very patient with me and encouraging. So,
I mean, that's great. And you have your daughter, and you have a daughter and son, right?
correct.
Yeah, and they're encouraging, aren't they? With this, were they encouraging about this new marriage, or was it hard? It had to have been hard on them.
Well, I think that they were happy that mom was going to have somebody to take care of her, because I think that's how children look at it.
Right.
And they just do not want me to lose my independence. So,
right.
Yeah.
And you haven't.
Yeah. No, I try not to. And I have grown grandchildren, and my granddaughters are extremely encouraging.
Yes. And that to me is the secret to, Faye, in a marriage or relationship, is to be able to still be independent. I said that 57 years ago to Mike. I said, I want to be independent. I want to do my own thing. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to be put in a box. And that was a long time ago. But I just think that is so important for every woman, to just keep their independence. And you certainly had that after 25 years of being single or whatever.
Right.
I mean,
yes.
You were very independent.
And I do have friends that'll say, oh, you do everything. But they do not want to join me. I think it's maybe a little scary for them to step out.
Step out of their box.
Right.
Yep. Especially at this age, yours and my age.
Yes.
But I mean, we have so many young friends, though, don't we? You have young friends.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's what keeps you young.
Yeah. It took me a long time to figure out those 50-year-olds could be my daughters. I mean, I'm like, wait a minute. I've got 50-year-old friends, 55-year-old friends, and I don't think of them as daughters. Well, this was really important to me because I just think a therapist, and I'd rather use the word therapist, and I just think it is so important. I think a lot of people would like to do this, except like I say, I think it's because the price, the money, I don't know how much they charge, but they have to charge quite a bit.
Right.
Do you know how much she charges?
I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's close to $200 an hour.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. From looking at the insurance forms, I believe it was something like 186, something like that. Yeah, they do very well.
Oh my gosh. But see, Faye, this is what's so important that you're sharing this, because yes, really expensive, but everybody should look at their insurance and see if they do pay for it, because those supplemental insurance, if UCare does that, I'm sure a lot of the others do too. And this is why this is so important to me. I know this is been a little difficult for you to get on air to 80,000 people, but but you did, and I'm so grateful, because I just think it's just so important for women to know about. That's what Aging But Dangerous is all about. Is I want to keep women aware of what's happening. Resources they can use. This whole aging process is challenging for a lot of us. I mean, look, I need to go to a therapist. I just let my granddaughter color my hair. I'm like, am I crazy or what? But she had such a good time doing it. And I'm like, all right, well, it's just hair, you know. And
That's
she
right.
says, Grandma, it'll fade. It'll fade. But I mean,
It'll
how long
fade.
does it take it to fade? Probably 6 months or something. I don't know. I don't care. But anyway, so you have shared with us, and I appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to leave us with? A little tidbit?
What I have found with going to the therapist is she's learning from me also.
Oh
She,
my gosh.
it really is. I mean, she finds it very interesting what I, at my age, do. And I will tell her about this, and she will be amazed with this. So it's a good interaction between the two of us.
Oh my gosh, Faye, that's great to know about because that we do need to. How old is she?
Oh, I would say she's maybe early 60s.
Okay, so here again, she could be our daughter.
Correct. Yes.
But it is important to keep these young people. A lot of people laugh because 60 isn't young, but you know, to you and I, it is. And it's just important to keep them aware of what's going on too, and especially a therapist. I think that is great. I'm sure she is learning from you because look at all the things you're doing. I mean, you do so many things, and I just admire you so much for all that. I mean, you do volunteer work, you do everything. So going to a therapist, you probably don't have as much to talk about as a lot of people, but still.
Oh, you'd be surprised. It's like one thing leads to another, and the hour is up and you're not done talking.
Well, I know you said to me the other day, you said, I always think before I go, well, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I don't really need to talk to someone. And then once you're there, you leave and go like, yeah, I really do need, I need to talk to somebody. And that felt good.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
It's so true.
yeah, I am so excited about that. All right, my dear, my friend,
Okay.
thanks for sharing. And
Thank you.
that's what Aging But Dangerous is all about, is sharing stories.
Very good. Well,
So,
I hope
okay.
somebody gets something out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye bye.